welcome to this episode of the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira. And I have to ask you something. Because I saw it on my feed, and I was like, oh my God, I wonder if Cheli's okay. Did you see that the trailer released?
Of what?
For the Teenage Mayhem or Ninja Turtles Mayhem. Mutant Mayhem? Is that what it's called?
Dude, are you talking about Mutant Mayhem? Dude! Oh my God!
Have you seen it?
I love you.
Have
no,
you
I haven't yet.
What? I thought you would have seen it already.
Well, my sister messaged it to me this morning because I've watched. Oh my God! First of all,
Yes.
Hi. This is a book podcast. Let me talk about some turtles for like 2 seconds
Before we get to the book, go ahead.
The voice actors got released yesterday. I think it was
know. I
yesterday, or a few days ago.
saw.
And dude, I fucking love it. The cast is so good. Did you see that Jackie Chan is voicing Splinter?
Oh my God, I didn't see that. The only name.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I saw, but I just saw people talking about John Cena. I didn't see Jackie Chan.
What?
Which Jackie
didn't know
Chan
about
is a
that.
bigger deal, honestly.
That's like John Cena and Jackie Chan in the same place? That's never happened. The
In
world's
the
gonna
same
end.
place. Yeah, because they were in the same room when they were recording their lines.
Oh my gosh, wait. Oh my God. I'm so happy you brought it up. Yes, I've heard about it. I am freaking out. I fucking love the design of all the characters, and I'm just so excited.
I thought it was really cute because I do remember you mentioning, because we talked about The Last Ronin, and on there you mentioned that this was going to be released. It's written by Seth Rogen, right?
Yes.
And I remember you saying that Seth Rogen wanted to focus more so on them being teenagers. Not really like the turtles that are like fighting crimes, just more so like teenagers. And so, you know what? I did get a vibe. I was like, oh yeah, they feel very young. Very, very young.
Seth, baby, babe.
Seth, babe. Can I call you babe?
Can I call you babe? I love you. Wait, okay, well, we're going too past that.
Whoa.
They're also turtles, Seth. You can be a teenager, but they're also fucking turtles. And Seth, I don't know if you've heard this. They're also fucking ninjas, Seth. Like,
What?
I get what you're going for, Seth. I really do. But, dude, I'm still so excited.
No, but I mean, I felt like even though it did feel very much like a teenager, vibe, based on how they were speaking and their jokes and all that. I think it's still going to be about them, like coming to,
Dude.
like whatever they end up doing, fighting crime. Yes,
Dude,
thank you. Growing up, a coming of age story, if you will.
Are you gonna go watch this with me when it's out?
You always say that, and then by the time that the movie comes out, you're already like, I've already seen it 5 times. So I'm like, okay.
I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my God. I'm so excited for this. TMNT, the last movie we had that came out was the one that came out in 2020-ish. And that movie fucking slaps. Love that movie. I watch it at work and sometimes I'm crying and my coworkers will be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, did something happen? I'm just like, nah. I just have TMNT playing in the background.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm very excited. Thank you for bringing that
I'm excited
up.
for you. I'm excited to see it too, though. It looked really cute.
But, talking about being excited, I'm excited to talk about today's book with you. Today we are talking about Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall.
Yes.
And, oh my gosh, this isn't a one-off, right? It has a second book.
I think it's a duology. I haven't read the second one yet, but I think that it's just a duology. Pretty sure.
Well, you have a spoiler-free summary, so whenever you're ready, I'm all tucked in my blanket. I'm burritoed up, so you do you.
Okay, so we start off our episodes by giving a spoiler-free summary. That way, if you're listening to this and you haven't read it yet, and it sounds interesting to you, then we would recommend for you to go read it and then come back. If you don't care about spoilers, we are going to hella spoil. after I give you the summary. So my summary says boyfriend material is a romance where Luke is the son of a former rock star that's coming back into the limelight. And due to this, Luke is being heavily scrutinized. In hopes to rehabilitate his image for the sake of keeping his job, Luke convinces a friend, Oliver, who's a lawyer, to fake date him in order for the public's perception of him to shift. Luckily for Luke, Oliver also needs a fake date to his parents' wedding celebration.
Dude, if you like fake dating,
contemporary romances, kind of a rom-com,
forced proximity,
then we would recommend this.
Yes. Now we are going to hella spoil, but before we get to that, Yajaira and I don't tell each other how we feel about the books we read, and we like to guess how the other person feels. I know that you bought this book when we went to Barnes and Noble's once together.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, but you were into the cover, you were into the vibe, and you bought it. And I think that you do like this book, but I don't know if you love this book. I feel like Gordon Ramsay. I feel like a judge right now. I know you love it. No, I know you like it, but I don't know if you love it.
I don't know if you love
That being said, I think you're gonna give it like at least a solid 3.
Okay. I thought we weren't gonna give any explanations, Cheli. I'm sorry. When we guessed, I really
wanted a Gordon Ramsay this one. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I think you also wanted to bring up the fact that I did buy this book a while ago. I would say I'm only guessing here. You are the hardest person to guess for, but I'm going to guess that you would give it a 2.25.
Wow, dude. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Well, we should start by talking about our main character, Luke. His full name is Lucien, which I love that because I was a little worried his name was going to be Luca. And I can't
like,
another Luca.
Or Lucas. I was like, no. Better not be Lucas. I actually really love the name Lucien or Luciano.
Me too.
I fucking love that name. It's one of my faves.
So he is related to two celebrities, two rock stars, and his dad is more prolific, I guess, but used to be. He kind of became very
washed up.
Yeah, known for all of his drug crazes, his orgies, whatever the fuck. And Luke kind of just suffered through that, mostly because of a past relationship he had with this boy named Miles, who basically sold all of Luke's secrets to like the media. And it really fucked him up. So he's kind of in this slump in his life where he's just so cynical about everything that no one can get close to him. And can I be honest with you? When the book started, we see him at a club and someone approaches him and they give like the person's name and they're talking and it's very flirty. Yeah. I didn't know who was going to end up with who. So I was like, wait, is this the person from the cover? Because I'm not sure if I should like them or not.
Yeah. No, he said his name. Isn't his name like Sam or something?
It was Cam. No, I know he said his...
Oh, I love that you remember that because the music was so loud that he was like, my name is Cam, but you know what? Anyone can just call me by a 1-syllable name.
He's like, all right, Bob.
It's like, bitch.
Dude, but I thought they were going to be like the end game.
You know,
but then I was like, that was too quick.
No, I remembered that his name was Oliver. But I will say that from the very beginning, we get a sense of Luke's character and his characterization as well, because he has never really been with his dad. Like his dad isn't a part of his world and he's never been a part of his world. So he is very much like, I don't know, I guess I would say resentful. So even when people bring up his dad, like the guy in the beginning, when he would like talk about his dad, he didn't really know much about his dad. He kind of just guessed and then mixed up different like rock stars. And Luke was like, yeah, I can see how that can be confusing. But he didn't really care. He was just like, okay. So I liked how his character was introduced, even though from the beginning, like Cheli said, he's very, very cynical. So the way that he perceives like love and the world is so, how do I say it? Like, he just takes everything for granted. Like, there's nothing in his life that he's just like really thankful for. Like, he's literally living the life, like, even with love, especially after what Miles did, he's not even thinking about love. He's just like, man, I just sleep around, and that's really all that he cares about.
It really sucks too, because he also has extremely bad luck, and anytime something happens, even if it's just like tripping on the floor, the media will just like completely be like, oh, look at this has been falling in his own vomit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so the media is just so ruthless towards him. Like, they just pick him apart. And his dad, like you said, he's very prolific, but there is a moment where his image starts to shift, right? So he is coming back into the limelight, and people are starting to care about him more. So because of that, people start caring about Luke as well, because they're like, oh my God, look at how his son, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree and all that shit. And so he is being picked apart just like his dad was.
Yeah. I do want to say that Luke has the best of friends.
Best of friend. One friend.
all connected. No, all 5 of them, all connected to the hip, because none of them really had a personality except for Bridget. All connected to the hip. I fucking love their group chat names. Like,
I forgot what it was, but I do remember when I read it, I thought it was hilarious, but I don't remember what it was now.
It changed like throughout the entire story. So the first one I know for a fact was Queer Comes the Sun.
Oh, I only remember the one where he was talking to Oliver. But I don't remember it. I just remember it jumping out at me and me being like, "Oh, that's funny."
Dude, I fucking loved his friends, but like this gave
Did
me
you? Did you like his friends?
Yes.
Oh.
Let me finish. I liked his friends. I did. I loved his friends. I loved
love
their
is a
dynamic.
very strong word.
I loved their dynamic, but they were super flat. They were all one character.
Yeah.
They all merged into one. And honestly, with Bridget being like the most talked about friend, because she's really the one that sets Oliver and Luke together, she was like the worst of them all.
I could not fucking stand Bridget. She was so annoying. Every time she was on like screen, I was like, God damn. Why is he still friends with her? Why is Oliver still friends with her? I could see her being friends with Luke, but I can't see her being friends with Oliver.
Yeah, I get that. It is weird that I didn't even consider that. It is weird that Oliver would be friends with someone like that. Mm-hmm. But I kind of hate that she was right. You know what I mean? The fact that she's like, oh, 2 gay people, they'll end up together. I didn't want her to be
that. Right. Yeah, because she's definitely one of those people who's like, I happen to know just 2 gay people, and you know what? That means they should be paired together, and that's love right there. It's like, no, obviously more oftentimes than not, it's not going to work out like that. So I hate that it did happen. It did happen for her, I should say.
I did like though that he had a support system. But it sucks because even like one of the characters, one of his friends had mentioned like, oh, you only reach out to us when something bad happens.
Oh my God.
Then he was
that.
super aware of that statement. So he tried like, oh, okay, I'm going to stay longer for the conversation, but that's what she expects. So I'm going to stay longer than that. But she's going to expect that I expect that. So I'm going to stay longer than that.
It was just only for him to realize. Games.
Only for him to realize like, oh shit, she's right. I do that. But that was never brought up again.
But I feel like that was just a part of Luke's characterization, though. Like, he wasn't really a good friend, honestly. Like, he was very much only concerned with himself, and he would reach out to his friends when something would go wrong for him. And I don't know, he was just very self-centered. So it was nice to see the progression of his character through the story and to see how he did eventually change. Like, he actually would see himself and his friends in a more positive way, or I guess in a more nice way, you know, like to be a good friend.
So we see him basically not get dumped by Cam because they weren't even dating, but he's like left alone, and you see how sad his life is. His dad sucks. His dad has a reality TV show. And I think this is like the first part where you see him have a phone call with his mom. Dude.
Yeah, him and his mom.
How do you feel about his mom?
She's trying, I guess. She's trying to be, I guess, open with his sexuality. But some parts were a little bit cringy because all he has is his mom. So, of course, he's definitely a mama's boy, you know? So there was a moment where he was supposed to go out with Oliver and his mom was like, emergency, come over. And it was like, well, my mom always comes first. It's like, oh my God, that's so cringy though. Like, I get it. But ew.
Really? That made you cringe?
Yeah.
Not the fact that she's over here talking about his fucking penis.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up. Yeah. I forgot what she said exactly, but it was with Oliver, right? It was when Oliver went over.
Yeah, because, oh my God. I don't want to move too fast ahead, but like,
it was
the mom. It was the nose. It was the nose thing.
It was the dad's penis, no?
No, it was, Oliver had came over and Luke was just like, oh, this is Oliver. And it's like, oh, why are you fake dating my son? Don't you think he's like great? Like, why don't you real date him? I mean, look at his nose. You know what they say about guys with big noses?
Oh,
and then like
God.
Oliver makes a fact, like he spits out a fact. And she was like, yeah, but they also have large penises. I mean, his dad had the largest penis I've ever seen. Good God. And Oliver was like, had? Like, what happened to it? Like, it was just like, I don't know. I hope the drugs shriveled it up. And oh my God. Dude, even at the beginning, though, they were like talking about something and she kept mentioning his ass. And he was just like, can you stop? Like, can you not do that? And I quoted this. I highlighted it. For a gay, you are far too sensitive about your asshole. What does that mean? What does that mean?
I do remember that. Oh my God. What do you mean? What does that mean? Well, she's trying to insinuate that gay people just love talking about sex.
I
right?
fucking hate it. Yeah. But I hate it because that's your son.
I know.
And your depressed son.
Oh my God. And you know what? I do remember, like, when we were introduced to her character, I didn't really like her. I just felt like she was so cringy. And then the fact that she was always like watching RuPaul's Drag Race, like, I don't know, just like the comments that she was making, they just made me kind of uncomfortable. But like, in a way, I'm like, okay, this is all that Luke has is his mom. And she's kind of trying. She's doing her best. And some parents just aren't really, they just don't know how to say things. But also, she's French, right? Like, that was her whole thing.
Yeah, she's French. Yeah. But she overdoes it. Like, she overplays it. I think that's what it says.
Okay, that's my comment about some of these characters. I feel like some of these characters play their role a little bit too much, where it feels like it's a parody. Like, I don't know if it's being done because like it's trying to be like comedic about it. I don't know. Like, she's just very extreme with her personality. But there's other characters that I feel that are very extreme too, with the way that their traits are very highlighted and very pushed on us.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. I just want to say, I do really like Luke. Luke is a really, really good character, only because I did like seeing him become who he was at the end of the story.
Yeah.
But like you said, I'm glad you worded it that way, because it did seem like some characters were forced, and you like, you're supposed to like them, but it's just kind of like, okay, this is kind of pushing it. And
because it just doesn't.
Talking about,
it doesn't feel natural.
Are you talking about Alex?
Yeah, of course. There's no way that man is that stupid. Like, how are you surviving in this world if you're that dense?
Dude, I thought Alex was gonna be the one. After Cam disappeared, I was like, oh no, Alex is gonna be the love interest.
What?
Because he was the one. I had no idea what this book was about going into it.
Where is he in the cover, Cheli?
Boyfriend. Dude, I don't know what they look like.
Also, he's straight. He has a wife, doesn't he?
Yes, but I'm over here trying to piece things together, and he's over here like, well, do you want to date me? But
Oh
he fucking
my
forgot
God.
he had a wife. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that bitch.
because he's stupid. That's his whole personality, is that he's just dumb.
Oh my God, dude. And even his wife is dumb because
Oh,
her
yeah.
fucking nickname. It's like, oh, my name's Miffy, but it's short for Clara. And it's like, that's the same number of syllables, bitch. Like, it's not short for anything. Oh my God.
That's
And
so
even
stupid.
even after that whole like fight thing happened with like
Which one?
when Oliver and Luke were eating with Alex and
Oh, yes.
Luke got kind of jealous.
Because
And basically like
because Oliver and Alex were just they had a more profound connection with their conversations, and Luke just felt out of place.
yes, and they had Luke kind of blew up and left and then came back and acted like nothing happened and brought up a very like racist encounter that he had, which was never brought up again, by the way. And then it kind of just ended, and the next day Luke calls Alex and is like, hey, I just want to apologize for what happened. And it's like Alex has no recollection of that happening. And it's like, how do you would expect you to be a better friend. He was never a better friend.
No. He it was kind of annoying, honestly, how stupid he was.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was another character that was overplayed. I
feel like Bridget was. I feel like Bridget was overplayed with the way that she was meddling into their relationship.
It was very obsessive at some points.
Yeah. Like, it was weird. And obviously the mom, I felt like she was overplayed with her
Are you talking about
character.
Yeah. Oliver's parents were a lot.
Oh my God. Yes, they were.
There was no redeemable qualities of his parents.
I don't exactly remember why they were being such bitches. I mean, we're kind of skipping all over the place, but when they do go to Oliver's parents' wedding renewal or whatever it is, his parents are just fucking assholes. And I can't even remember why. Like, they just were.
Just
and
because they are.
I think Oliver told Luke too, right? He was like, oh, just be nice, you know? Like, be nice. Because Luke kind of has a mouth on him. And Oliver is the complete opposite, where he's more calm, cool, collected.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start talking about first, before we get into that. They already knew each other before this fake dating started. So the reason that they had to fake date was because, like you said, Luke's dad was getting big again, and everyone's now paying attention to Luke. And because of the media, his job is basically like, hey, you can't be doing these fucking
reckless things. They called him
sexcapades.
Yeah, and they called him the bad gay. They were like, we need you to be the good gay. And he's like, what does that even mean? He's like, you need to date someone who would like rehabilitate your image pretty much. And they didn't say that, right? They didn't say date someone. They just kind of said like, you need to rehabilitate your image or else he could lose his job. And that's kind of what prompts him to be like, oh, well, what can fix my image?
I kind of hate that that's what led up to it. That's such a fucked up thing for your job to do.
Yeah, I feel like he could have sued them for that. Like, what the hell? Like, that whole conversation was just really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hated it. And he, of course, freaks out. He calls all of his friends by messaging them, help, emergency, queer Avengers assemble. Yeah. And they do.
They do assemble.
And he basically tells them, and Bridget is like, oh my gosh, go out with Oliver. And they go out the first time, and it's like a disaster.
They have dinner, right?
Yeah.
When it's revealed that they had known each other, they never had like a thing, right? Like Luke had gotten too drunk. Oliver took him home. and then he just left. And so Luke took that as he's so repulsed by me, he just left me there. He didn't want to do anything with me, even though he was fucking blackout drunk. But in his mindset, because of the way that he perceives love and, the world, he's just like, well, we should have done something, even though he couldn't remember anything.
Yeah.
But obviously to Oliver, he's like, well, nothing was going to happen because you couldn't even stand up straight.
Yep. Do they bring that up then? Well, they talk about it. They do talk about it throughout.
Eventually they talk about it.
Every time they go out, though, it always ends with them fighting.
Yeah.
And it's always super intense. It'll literally be, because I think this date went badly, but they both enjoyed like their time together. Mm-hmm. And then when the second date was coming around, they were texting each other really cute, like, oh my God, I'm excited. I'm really excited for this. Mm-hmm. And then out of the blue, Luke just texts Oliver, like, can't make it, can't tell you why, enjoy brunch. And then ends up going to the mom where Luke's mom reveals to him that the dad has cancer. And
that's
kind of funny because
that's what I had brought up, where the mom was like, emergency, come over, and he dropped everything and he went.
It's kind of like ridiculous too, because he comes up, learns that, and then goes home. It's like, could you not have called me? Like, could you not have just told me over the phone? I drove over here. Gas is not cheap.
It's not just that. It's also the fact that his dad was never in his fucking life. So why do you even need to tell him to his face? Cancer is a very serious thing, but like his dad was never there. So what did she expect Luke to say? Like, oh my God, well now after 20 something years, now I gotta make sure I'm in this man's life. He pretty much was like, nah, fuck him.
I kind of get it though, because that's what parents do. I mean, this is like the weirdest thing to say, but I see like a lot of qualities that they're showing in like my parents, not the crazy one. When one of them does something, the other one will be like, go talk to them. You got to go talk to them, And I kind of I don't want to justify that's what she should have done, but I can see why a parent would do that. Because they're kind of like, oh my God, it's my parent, right? I got to go show them our child one last time. So I get why she acted like that. She shouldn't have. She fucked it up for him really bad with Oliver, but,
I mean, it's not even just Oliver. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like she could have delivered the news differently. And I do agree. Like, obviously my parents do that shit too. And maybe it's just like a parent thing. But even... what pisses me off is that, okay, the dad supposedly also wants something with Luke, right? Allegedly.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's dying. And now all of a sudden, he's like, I should be a father to a freaking 20-something-year-old now. But it's like, the dad doesn't even really try. He's just like expecting Luke to do all of the work, to, find out his manager's phone number, like try to reach out to his dad that way. And it's just like, why? You're just making it harder for Luke to try, even though, in the beginning he was very much like, I don't fucking care, like go die. Like, like you haven't been in my life this long. Why would I care? But he should have still at least provided like at least one form of contact, whether that be his phone number, his fucking email, like anything.
And don't you hate that one of his redeemable moments for the dad wasn't even with Luke? It was like on live TV with another boy.
Oh my God, that would have pissed me off. Okay, because you said that his dad was doing like reality TV. He was doing like American Idol, no? It was American Idol. And so one of the contestants was like about Luke's age or maybe a little bit younger. And the way that Luke's dad was talking to him was very much like father figure, like just the way that he was having a heart-to-heart with him on national television. And Luke saw it and he was like, oh, that fucking bitch. Mm-hmm. That's so sad. I literally would cry.
So I want to know what you think about Oliver. Our other boy, because we haven't really talked about him.
Well, I mean, I wasn't sure when we were going to talk about him, like when we were going to get to him. So Oliver is pretty much the opposite of Luke. where he seems like he has his life together, right? So he's a lawyer. He's very like polished. Like Luke's room is really messy, and Oliver's is super like clean. He does his bed. Like they're complete. He even like makes him breakfast, and I really felt for Oliver, especially near the end when we learn like how insecure he feels, because he also had a failed relationship. I can't remember how long before Luke came around, but
well,
he
it was
just
several.
But wasn't there like a main one?
Not really. He talked about Andrew.
I thought there was. I remember there was a main one that even his friends brought up. He always felt like he wasn't enough, and that's why he always had to try so hard, because he also has a very nice body, and he's very like strict with himself on the things that he can and can't eat. And you know, to Luke it's like, wow, you have so much self-restraint, but really it's because it's playing off to Oliver's insecurities. Like he just really tries really hard to be like this perfect person, even though he doesn't feel that way. I really loved Oliver. I felt like he was a really good character. He didn't have like that much of character development as Luke did, but then again, we were in Luke's headspace. But I honestly preferred Oliver's character over Luke.
I mean, I did too. Oliver was my fave. Love that bitch. I kind of felt a certain way with like at the very end.
The eating disorder. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes. That felt very out of place. Like, I understand that was probably something he was dealing with. I mean, it kind of made it apparent, like, with the whole brownie thing. Yeah. But, like, I fucking hated that shit. I
feel like this book just didn't know how to talk about serious things like
Which
that.
Which is funny, because we have Luke. We have Luke who's going through so much fucking trauma. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that it should have been approached differently. I didn't like Oliver's parents at all, not just because they sucked, but because they just came out of left field, like out of nowhere. It was these bitches. And I know that he was trying to justify how they were acting. And I know Luke wasn't taking it, but at the same time, it just kind of happened and then it was gone. You know what I mean?
Like the moment was very brief.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, I didn't expect that out of his parents, especially with the way that Oliver is. I would have thought that his parents would have been, you know, an example of how he is to Luke.
Yeah.
But they really weren't. And I can't remember why they were such assholes. But if I remember correctly, it's because he didn't want to. Is it because he didn't want to be a doctor? Or did I dream that? Because
no, it is. It
reminded me of A Través de Mi Ventana. I was like, oh my God, here we go again. Another doctor.
Wait, wasn't this the story where they fuck on the roof and the dad shows it on camera? Oh, wait. Wrong one.
Wrong story. Right? It's because
the viewers are all like, wait, I want to hear that one.
No, don't.
Actually, yes, do go listen to our episode, A Través de Mi Ventana.
Yeah, go listen to our episode, but don't actually watch it. It's not that good. But anyway, yes, I think it was that, right? That the whole family comes from a line of doctors, but God forbid he wanted to be a fucking lawyer because he wanted to
funny though?
Defend like, you know, people who don't have the means to seek it out.
But you notice they weren't the only people that didn't like lawyers. And every time someone brought it up, they all used the same argument with like, oh, you're just putting bad people back on the streets. And it's like, I agree. I mean, I don't know much about law, but I know not all of it is straight. There are crooked stuff in law. Yeah. I've never met anyone, like when you say lawyer, they're like, oh
fuck those bitches.
Fuck those bitches.
Well, it might be like a British thing. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh my God.
Because for us, it would be cops. Oh, fuck. You're a cop? Oh, fuck you.
It's kind of funny, too. I forgot that this was like a UK book. So sometimes they would be like... Sometimes they would be like... Oh, as a lawyer, I actually don't deal with a lot of murder cases. Like you'd be surprised. There's only one every blue moon, and they always end up killing someone, and they regret it. And I was like, this ain't America.
This
is
isn't
not set in
America.
America.
No, not at all. This is a whole new world.
I was like, what? And I was like, wait, is that true? And I tried looking it up, and I was like, wait, I'm just gonna make myself sad.
I mean, first of all, he's a barrister. What the fuck is that? That's a lawyer. I didn't know what that meant. You know what I thought? I thought it said barista. Because I think I'm dyslexic. I was like, wait, what? He's a barista?
Oh, good for you.
No, hey, no shame. No shame.
Luke is like, oh my God, I got it wrong. I thought you said you worked at the courthouse. And it's like, no, I do. At the Starbucks at the courthouse. Did I not make that clear?
Wasn't it obvious? No, but
weren't you
I
curious
was like,
why
damn.
I just pulled out coffees right out my pocket?
He's just always ready. It's ready to go.
Dude, something about this writing style, anytime they talked, it feels, this is like a weird way to say it feels like when I'm just talking to you.
Dude,
like the type of humor that they have.
Oh, I was gonna say, I said something to Melissa because she had read another book by this author, and she asked like, oh, did you like their writing? And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, it was different. I felt like with the way that it was written, it felt like I was just talking to a friend and they were telling me a story, with the language that they used. They were just telling me some tea.
I agree. It kind of feels like I said, it kind of feels like if I were talking to you, because it's like the types of jokes that like our friend group would make, like the fucking, oh, you're like Bart Simpson. He's like, I'm not. And everyone in the room was like, don't have a cow, man. And that fucking got me.
Yeah.
But like, I like this writing, but I also don't like it at the same time, only because I don't want to read like a book that feels like you just had a text conversation with your friend and you wrote a book about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. I just felt like it was very different.
I remember the parts where Bridget would text, and it would always be super like off-putting because you can tell she was always in the go. She was always in the hurry.
Yeah.
She was always on the go, in a hurry. And she, I guess, is a writing agent. And she would always end her text with like, anyway, gotta go because geopolitical upheaval has led to pulp paper shortage in Twickenham. So none of our books are getting published. And then it would just end. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, gotta go. One of my writers is getting sued. And it's like,
okay. Cool.
This feels like you wrote not you, but like Alexis Hall wrote a book, but was also texting her friends and was like, oh, that's a funny joke. I should include it. And that just became the whole book. And
okay.
I'm not.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. So the writing itself, what would you rate it?
The writing, I would rate it. Okay. The writing, I would rate it a 3. The dialogue, I would rate it. Everyone who's not the main two, a 1. Everyone who is the main two, a 5. I fucking love them. And then the characterization, a 1.
Okay. Even Luke?
No, the character the background characters.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay. I understand that they're flat, but my God. James Royce, who the fuck was that?
I have no fucking idea.
I hated that joke.
Me too.
James Royce was James Royce and James Royce, who got married and became James Royce.
That's not funny, though. It's not funny.
It's not. And that's why I said all of the friends just seemed attached to the hip. I actually enjoyed Oliver's friends more.
Same. I thought they were like a more interesting group. I can't remember them by names, but I did really like that moment of Luke meeting his friends.
I know. And it was such a good moment. Dude, I love the build up to their first kiss. I don't know if you felt the same way. Did you not? Is that why you're laughing?
No, I did. But before we talk about that, I just want to say that I did like Luke and Oliver together. I just kind of wish that the stakes felt a little bit higher, because isn't it kind of dumb that he wants to rehabilitate his image with someone that nobody knows? Like, you would think that it was the best way to do it would be with like a well-known sweetheart, of the celebrity world.
I think Luke kind of realized too that like things that they were doing wasn't going to get any media exposure, because there was a point where they just ate sandwiches at the park and it was like, how is this going to fucking help you? And it did help him. Like, he ended up being amazing, and it was like, oh, I can't believe that actually fucking worked.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. But I do wish that there was more substance to them. I fucking love the first time they kiss, and I don't even remember when it happens. Is it after he meets the parents?
I'm trying to... Wasn't it when... Was that the first kiss? Wasn't it before that?
It was after meeting his dad for the first time. After meeting... ¿Cómo se llama? After meeting Luke's dad for the first time, and they listened to his music in the car, and he's saying like, oh my God, you've helped me so much. I've grown because of you, whatever. Oh, and he cleaned his house. That was a big thing. Like, he came into Luke's house and it was clean.
Yeah, and Oliver was like, what the fuck? And Luke was like, surprise. But unenthusiastically, because he was so sad.
Yeah, and then Oliver was like, you didn't do this for me, did you? And then Luke answers, for myself and a bit for you. He looked genuinely overwhelmed. Oh, Lucien. And then that's when they kissed.
Oh, I do remember that. That was so cute.
Right?
I fucking loved that. No, and there really was a build up for it. So when it did happen, I was like, oh my God, finally. Damn.
Dude, but I remember, because after that, there's like a thing in the papers, in like a tabloid. And I don't understand why Luke got mad at it.
I remember.
About what Cam said about him.
They had like a really cute moment, him and Oliver. And then he goes to the bathroom and then he reads a fucking, what was it? Was it a blog? I don't remember.
It was a post in the Guardian.
Article?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he reads it and it's from Cam, that guy from the beginning that he like was talking to, like kind of interested in, but not like a whole lot. And Cam pretty much like I think the way that Cam spoke about him was very much just like indifferent. Like he basically roasted him, but it wasn't like that bad in my opinion, because like obviously Cam doesn't know a whole lot about Luke to really hurt him. But I feel like reading this article made Luke realize like, oh my God, maybe Oliver can do this to me too. Like, what if I get close to him and then I tell him things and then he's going to go sell it to the paper? I mean, obviously that's not how he processed it, right? He kind of just shut down and then he was like, get out, like just leave. And
he broke up with Oliver in between the doors of the bathroom. Like, he didn't even get out.
Oh, yeah. He stayed in the bathroom. And Oliver was just like, at least, like, have the fucking guts to say it in front of my face. But
I don't want to go too into, like, detail with this. But this isn't the only time this happens. Like, the only time that Luke has a meltdown, breaks up with Oliver. Oliver leaves, and then he goes running back to Oliver and is like, I'm so sorry. Please give me another chance. This is my excuse for being like that. And then it's Oliver being like, oh, Luke,
babe,
Lucien. Can I call you Lucien?
Can I call you baby?
Don't make it weird. No, but I feel bad because I feel like I understand Luke is going through a lot, but my God, Oliver's over here being so fucking patient.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely hated it too, because I agree with you where I don't think that anything that was written in the article would cause such a like distraught reaction out of him, or it should have at least.
Yeah.
I just feel like it would have made more sense had him and Cam actually had something, and then maybe him have something to release to the public, but he didn't.
Yep.
So it's kind of just like, I mean, you're just scared because of, you know, the idea that he could also do this to you.
God, I fucking hate it. I'm glad they got back together, but that didn't fucking last because after Luke is taken to Oliver's parents' place and Luke basically stands up for Oliver and is like, you know what, bitches? Fuck y'all.
Fuck you,
y'all.
bitches.
Stop making him feel bad. I love my fucking boyfriend, King. And like leaves with him, whatever. After that, I literally thought Oliver breaking up with him was a dream sequence. Like it did not feel real because it just got out of nowhere.
It felt like a little out of character. Just a little bit, you know, like I understand, you know, his reasoning afterwards, but it just was like, what? Because I think they were also like getting into the L word territory. No? Do I remember? Like, if I remember that correctly?
They were getting towards it, but they were getting to the point where it was very intimate. I mean, they had already had sex. They had meat together. They were eating together. They were always texting, always by each other's sides. They had met each other's parents. So it was
Wait. Can I just say that having meat together matters because he was vegetarian, Oliver? We never said that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just saying they had meat together, it's like, whoa, that's romance.
It's so funny because like there's someone in the audience right now listening and being like, oh my God, their first meet.
Oh
Their
my
first
God.
meet.
That's so
I remember my
romantic.
first meet. Barbacoa. Oh, I'll never forget. No, but yeah, it was they went through so many things that like made them trust each other, obviously. But Oliver just kind of was like, nope, get out of my life. He didn't say the L word, but he was like, you know, I care for you, but I can't do this. And it sucks because Luke, he's trying to handle this the way he knows how, and he's really sarcastic, but he's like, you want to go in the bathroom, babe? That bathroom floor did wonders for me. You want to go in there, babe? And I felt so bad. I felt so bad because it was really quiet, and then Luke was like, oh my God, that was so fucking stupid. Why did I say that? And then Oliver left.
Yeah. So Oliver also ended up getting cold feet once things started to get a little bit too serious. And so he just broke it off with him because he got scared, same as Luke did near the beginning. And the way that it gets resolved is, I don't know if you felt the same way, but I feel like this book did not need to be this long. Like this end portion should have been cut down. I was getting a little over it.
Yeah. It's because they had said that Oliver was going to move to Durham. And then Bridget was like, oh my God, you just said the L word, and Oliver, that means you love him. Let's go find him. And they make it a road trip. Yeah. And they go over and, you know.
Which, you know, this would have been exciting had I actually cared for his friends, more specifically Bridget, but I did not like Bridget.
Just, you know, Bridget, James, Royce, and all the other ones. So they are going over, and then they get there, and it's so realistic because, like, no way the receptionist is going to tell you, you know, if someone is there.
Yeah,
and it's
like, why would they do that?
It's funny because Luke is like, you should tell me because this is for, like, love and shit. And then the worker's like, yeah, but this is my job and shit. So, like, no.
Yeah, that was funny.
So then Bridget calls Oliver, and Oliver tells her that he changed his mind. He doesn't want to move. And so then they go back home, and they go to Oliver's, and all of the friends are sitting in the car while fucking Luke is being torn to shreds.
No, but he's being forced.
To shreds. Yeah, he is.
Because I think, did he like fall asleep or something? But he just woke up and they were outside of Oliver's place.
Yeah, and he talks to him, and it sucks because it's such a tense conversation, and the friends keep going like, kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yeah, because they can't hear exactly what they're saying. So they're completely misreading what is being said. And they're just like, all right, make out now. And it's like, bitch, We're not there yet.
You would think knowing the type of person that Luke is, they would be more considerate about his feelings when it comes to relationships.
Right?
You know
because
what I
this
mean?
is such a big step for him. So, you know, you would think that it would be taken a little bit more seriously because it was a really big deal for him to love anyone, you know, especially after the kind of life that he was living. Like
mostly
I said,
Bridget, because Bridget stole his fucking ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, that's sad.
Oh my god. Well, they talk and Oliver's like, I can't, babe. And then the next day happens and Oliver's like, JK, babe. The end. That's it. Let's end the episode now. Let's just end it.
JK, babe. And then they kiss.
And
the credits
basically
roll.
What happens. What song would play if this was a movie?
If we were a movie.
Yeah.
We can't see. You sound just like her.
Dude.
Wait,
I have a secret to tell you.
Oh my god, takes off your wig.
I'm Hannah Montana.
Dude, okay, so before we say anything else, I just want to bring up the fact that the dad didn't fucking have cancer. That fucking bitch.
Oh yeah! JK, guys, I'm gonna go back to being a piece of shit. It was a crazy scare, though. Am I right?
So what basically happened is that he freaked himself out, right? And so he just kind of like convinced himself, like, oh my god, this is going wrong. Think I have cancer. And so he was already like preparing himself. And so he did. I'm trying to remember. He did hang out with Luke like 2 times, right?
Yes.
Like 1 or 2.
2 whole times.
I'm not sure. 2. But then at the end, he reverted back to being a complete asshole. He made it very clear that he didn't care for Luke or didn't want to, you know, have a relationship with him. And
yep.
I think it was actually the mom who ended up telling Luke, like, oh, yeah, it's because he was wrong. There's no cancer. So that's why he's not fucking answering you.
So does that mean they're never going to build a relationship?
I have no idea. Maybe in the second one, we'll find out.
I hate that.
I know.
If he fucking has another medical scare, I'm going to fight someone.
What if he does, but it's actually like true this time?
That's stupid.
But I hate that though. Like it shouldn't take like an illness for you to start being a good person. Like he should have already been a good dad. Like I'm not saying maybe the whole time, but a couple of times, you know, sprinkle it in a little bit.
But the thing is, that feels realistic to some families because sometimes illness does make a person start questioning. Like,
no, I know, but I'm saying that I hate that.
Yeah, I hate it too. It could have been written better, honestly, because the fact that this dad was going through that, but still didn't give a shit. Like the fact, like when he called Luke and he was over here having a side conversation with someone else while on the phone with Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot.
He just didn't really care, even when he thought he was dying. But is there anything else in the book that you want to bring up?
No, it made me feel uncomfortable multiple times, but you know, I like that the first time.
I think so too. Honestly,
I like that the first time that Oliver and Luke are texting. It's like I forget what Luke says, but it's not Luke. Oliver says something and it's super cute. And instead of answering, Luke is like, I'm going to give it some space because I don't want him to think I'm just sitting by the phone. So he watches 4 episodes of BoJack Horseman and then says that he has a vindictive jack-off. That was funny.
That is funny. I do remember that.
But yeah, that was pretty much it.
I did really like many of the moments that they had together, but I feel like their progression happened a little fast. Like I know that they broke up a couple of times, but from the beginning, I think that they just kind of, I don't know, they took it seriously very quickly, even though they kept telling each other like, yeah, we're doing this because we're fake dating, you know, like we're a fake boyfriend. So you have to fake do this and fake do that.
I fake love you. Don't fake make it weird.
I know.
If you had to recommend fake dating to someone, would you consider this a good example of fake dating?
Yeah, I think so. Because we've read some really bad ones. I would not put this at the bottom tier.
We have, but I really like it in fake dating when both of them start off with no, like, emotional attachments towards each other. You know what I mean?
So the fact that Oliver did kind of like him already.
Yeah, I wish that it had been built differently, but it's whatever. It didn't bother me that much. It wasn't the end of the world.
It was, though. It really was. So I'm assuming you wouldn't recommend this as a fake dating book.
Not as a fake dating, but I thought the comedy was really good.
Yeah, it was funny. I liked it.
Yeah, I caught myself laughing.
Oh my God, you were giggling?
Dude, I was giggling the same way I giggled when I read The Hating Game.
You know what's funny? I thought about The Hating Game.
It kind of feels like The Hating Game.
In that moment, when Luke goes off on Oliver's family, I thought about Lucy going off on Josh's family.
Dude, their names aren't that far apart.
Exactly.
Oh my God. We just read The Hating Game.
Suspicious. Well, I mean, you love The Hating Game. You gave The Hating Game 5, so.
Thank you. I did. I just wish that, like you said, they didn't have to over-exaggerate all the characteristics of all the other flat characters in the story, the background ones. Fucking hate James Royce with every fiber of my being, and if I ever see those two men, it is on site. Like, I'm gonna fucking fight those bitches.
Do it, please. Do it for the rest of us.
I think I'm ready for overall thoughts.
Okay, go ahead.
I love Oliver. Period. I think that thank you.
That's it. Done. Nothing else.
No, I really liked Oliver as a character, and I like his type of characters because this is very he's very like grumpy. I was gonna say grumpy sunshine, but there's no sunshine in this book. But like
I'm the sunshine.
He's so fucking protective and amazing, and I love him, and he was so patient with everything that Luke went through. Even like the little moments when they were in bed together and he would just hold Luke's hand. Dude, they got me fucked up. I fucking love that type of shit. And I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I knew that it wasn't gonna be like, you know, my top read of 2023. But like I laughed. I had a good time. I don't think I will ever read another book written by this author ever again. I don't think I will ever read husband material because
very bold statement from what you just said before that.
I know. I don't think so. It's just the fact that a lot of this is just like a joke. It feels like this whole thing, like you said, it's like a parody of itself. And I think that's what bothers me. It kind of gives me the ick because most of it was kind of cringy. I feel like the only redeemable parts of this were Oliver and Luke. I would have read an entire story of just them. But and it sucks too because I like the idea of Luke's friends a lot. I like that he had a support system. I just wish they had fucking personalities because fucking Oliver's friends that we knew for 2 seconds had more personality than both James Royce and James Royce combined. Like, it could have been a lot better, but I mean, I still liked the couple. After talking about it with you, you did kind of lower my rating. I think I am going to give this 3.25 out of 5.
What? Were you going to give it a 4?
Yeah, dude. I was so fucking in love with Oliver.
What? Now I feel bad. Damn. Okay, so my overall thoughts is a little bit interesting too because I felt like when I was reading it, I was really enjoying it. Like there were a couple of moments where the humor kind of like threw me off, and you know, like I said and you said, the way that the characters were written sometimes didn't really work for me. I also like the idea of the friends, but isn't it interesting that when a book only shows the couple, we would be like, what, they don't have friends? So when they do have friends and they're written flat, it's like, you know what? Let's go back. Let's go back to them not having friends, please. I think I prefer that. So I do like that, the author wanted to create more depth with our main characters by giving them friends, right? So therefore, they're not just loners. They have other things besides the main relationship.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I do like Luke's development as a character, because even the way that he would like view himself and just, I don't know, like speak from the very beginning completely changed to the end. So I liked seeing that. And I really loved moments with his relationship with Oliver. But like I said, I just wish that the stakes were a little bit higher. I wish that, I don't know, because I just don't think, like, even with the celebrities now, do you really care if a celebrity is dating like some nobody? Like, no one knows who this lawyer is. Okay, cool, he's cute, but like, who is he? Like, I don't even know him.
Well, I was thinking about it as like Billy Ray Cyrus with Miley Cyrus, and then seeing who Miley Cyrus is dating. Like that's what I was thinking the equivalent was. Like whatever
yeah, but
his dad
Miley Cyrus is still famous though, even without Billy Ray Cyrus.
Okay. What if we said Noah Cyrus before she made her music career?
Okay, fair, but still,
I wasn't over here like obsessed over her life and willing to ruin it,
Yeah, but wouldn't you agree that it would be more interesting if it was also another celebrity that was beloved by the public? Because Luke is over here being scrutinized by the public, so it would have been more interesting had it been someone that the public was like, oh my God, this person is an angel, can do no wrong. And then they date Luke, and it's like, oh.
You know what? Oh my God, wait. Maybe you're selling me on this. Keep going.
Maybe they can do something wrong. I don't know. But I just like the idea of that maybe like someone who has a bad image would have dated someone who has like a good boy image, and therefore that would have shifted everything. So even like the moments when they would go on dates, and like you said, when they would have like that picnic or those sandwiches or whatever, it's like, okay, shouldn't we do something a little bit more dramatic? How are we going to call it?
I kind of love that, because then there would have been higher stakes for Oliver, because Oliver really wasn't going to lose anything. He said he would have lost his like career, but like I doubt he would have.
Yeah, exactly. So if it was like another celebrity, then are you really going to risk tarnishing your fucking image for someone you don't know? Well, I mean, they knew each other, but...
Oh my God, you're right. Dude, you're switching my views right now.
I suddenly am going to write this. TM. I'm just kidding. It's probably already written. But yeah, I just wanted the stakes to be a little bit higher, but I do still think that they had some really cute moments. But I did hate how much they fought, or I guess argued. I feel like there's so much I want to say, but I think we've pretty much covered everything in our discussion. Yep. Like I said, when I was starting this book, I was really enjoying it. I probably would have given it a higher rating, but then, certain things made me uncomfortable. And then I just felt like it just went on for way too long. I am still interested in reading the next book though, because I do want to see like what else can happen between the main characters.
You just want to see them get married. I got it.
Is that what happens? Oh my God. How dare you spoil it?
It's called husband material. And
yeah, but they weren't boyfriends.
What if it's about James Royce?
Oh my God, I'm going to white that name out. I think that I would give this book a 2.5.
Damn, dude. Mm-hmm. That's kind of harsh coming from you.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You're always so full of love and positivity in this sesh. But
yeah, and you're so full of negativity, hatred. You're just throwing tomatoes. You're like, tomato.
Thank you.
I don't know. I do really think it was because of the length that I was like, fuck, this is starting to drag.
Can I say one thing? Unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I wish there was more spice. I wish there was more.
What? Spice. Coming from Cheli? What? No way. There was okay.
lacking.
Wait, we need to explain. This book wasn't spicy. Like it was spicy, but it wasn't spicy. So it was implied, but it wasn't shown.
No, it was not. I felt cheated. I felt wronged, and honestly, a little disrespected.
Oh,
so
okay, bold.
I wish there was spice,
but there wasn't.
Because like, why the fuck did I get this book?
Oh, you thought it would have been spicy?
No, I just like it was a surprise when it did turn spicy. I didn't expect it. So then I was like, okay, chill. But then it kind of just ended. It would end right before they actually did anything.
And you were upset. You were heartbroken. You were like, after all of the fights, and then you're just going to skip it.
Sorry to turn blue, no pun intended. But for a book that brought up assholes and penises as much as it did, you would think it would describe what a fucking penis looked like. You know, you would think it'd be like, okay, here's the fucking circumference, the diameter and shit. Dude, I just wanted to know. Is that wrong? Like, is that a crime? I just wanted to know.
All of a sudden, you know what? I need a flashback of when you were like, I'm so tired of reading about penises.
And I'm over here like, tell me what his penis looks like. I need to know. For a friend.
For a friend. Oh, wow. When you recommend this book, because I know you will. No, I agree with you, though. I wish that it would have been a little bit spicier. But it's okay, I guess. I'll live.
Dude, sometimes I wonder if my neighbors can hear me when we film, because my windows are super thin. So I wonder if they're outside right now just like playing catch with their beautiful son and just like, tell me what his penis looks like.
Oh my God, they're probably traumatized. They're like, damn. No, really though, tell me.
Sometimes I'm like singing in my kitchen, like when I'm cooking, and they'll just be like, ooh, good bop. So I know they could hear me.
Oh my God, dude, I would be afraid to speak if I were you. Oh my God.
It's chill.
No, it's not chill.
Yeah, I wanted more penis. Actually, lower the rating. 1 out of 5, not enough penis.
Oh my God. She's lying. You're not going to give
No, I would still give it a 3.25. I would still give it a 3.25. And you know what? I'm happy with it. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This feels like it's been a long episode.
I know. And I feel like
it's
we've
kind of all
taken
over
a
the
break,
place.
but we haven't taken a break. But we have taken a break. But we haven't.
It kind of feels like it, right? I feel like we haven't filmed in a long time. Oh my God. I don't know. I miss you. I really do.
I miss you too.
And I want to thank everyone who's listening to us in audio form, whether that be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a review and a rating of 5 stars for us, that would be amazing, because that actually helps push the apps to recommend us more. But another way to help us is if you tell your friends and family about us. It helps with us getting more views, because the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. If you want to like support us, just like one more step, like one more,
like
and you happen to have
and beyond, honestly,
you happen to have an extra $5 in your pocket, what can they do, Yajaira?
So if you would like to, we did make a Patreon, and with our Patreon, we definitely have a lot of goals. We would like to eventually make like a book club. We just really wanted a way for our listeners to become more involved in the things that we talk about. So through our Patreon, you can definitely request what you would like us to read, discuss, rip apart, or love. So you can find us on patreon.com/bookfix.
Yes. If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We post every Tuesday and Thursday. So at the end of our episode, Yajaira rolls a digital dice, and if it lands on an even number, we read a positive review of the book we talked about. If it lands on an odd number, we read a negative review of the book we talked about. We do not connect our views with these reviews, so we're just going to leave it in the air, and then it's just going to be the end of our episode, and you will see us on Thursday. So why don't you do the honors of rolling the dice, and I will find the review.
Okay. We got a 3.
A 3 is an odd number, so I am going to read a negative review. This review is written by James, who gave it a 1 out of 5 star, and they wrote, I haven't been on Goodreads in a while, and I've never taken the time to write a review, but there's a first time for everything. This book was truly atrocious. The story was dull, the main character was a garbage human, and I was bored all the way through it. The only reason I kept reading was because I liked Oliver as a character. Hall destroyed what I liked about him at the end, though. I cannot fathom how this book is compared to Red, White, and Royal Blue. I'm utterly perplexed at the hype around it and all of the positive reviews. Would not recommend.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Dude, are you caught up? Are you caught up? Let me know.
What do you mean?
Are you caught up with The Last of Us?
I am on episode 3 of The Last of Us and episode 3 of You. I'm like catching up. I keep watching it at work.
Oh.
Don't tell my boss.
You're behind.
But
Oh, wow. During work.
I know during mid things, I'll be like, hold on, guys. Hold on. And I'll just put it on. Wait, let me switch back to Joel Miller, Pedro Pascal. Go ahead. I play them at the same time. So just imagine my work screen and then Pedro Pascal on one side and fucking a murder happening in You on the other.
Oh my
That's
god.
what's happening.
Spoiler alert. Don't tell them.
I'm sorry. We're talking about You season 4. Take it.